These are all the sprites in Fortnite: water, air, and earth. But what about the fire sprite? If you carry it, it would melt down your health, but when you threw it, it would spread the fire and heal you like a campfire if you're near him. Opposite of fire is the ice sprite, which will make your feet icy when you carry it. When thrown, it would create a blizzard like the blizzard grenade that deals damage and slows you down if you're near it.
I don't care.
Void sprite would be a great addition since we already have the void element in the game. This guy would teleport you to the location where you throw it, just like the normal void mask. To prevent people from camping in boxes, we should have the poison sprite. The poison sprite's similar to the stink bomb. When you threw it, it would create a stink around it that will slowly damage opponents. That's probably because this sprite isn't taking a bath that often, just like this guy that looks like from a flippin' horror movie. So I recreated the earth sprite by covering a normal sprite with mud, and to encourage players to touch grass, I also added a grass on top of his head. This is the golden sprite. When you throw it, you will get the gold rush effect, which makes you run and mine faster than Steve from Minecraft. Similar to the golden sprite, chrome sprite would give you chrome effect, which will allow you to turn into chrome blob, but for faster escape from enemies it would be better to just throw the rift sprite. This one would rift anyone that gets closer to it. Comment down below which design do you like more. Anyway, if you're quite noob, you should carry gun sprite that will automatically shoot opponents when they get closer to you, similar to the War Machine's auto turret. Oops. I accidentally thrown the like sprite that recommends you to smash the like button on this video. Next up we have a sand sprite. The sand sprite would create sand castle where you can take cover.
Let's go!
This would be perfect for the zero build mode, but for the electric sprite, however, I will need your help for his power, so comment your idea for this sprite. This is the storm sprite. When you throw it, it will create a zone bubble that flips the storm, which would be perfect for heal-offs. Speaking of bubbles, we have the bubble sprite that creates a bubble shield around it so it blocks enemy shots. But if you want to reveal enemy's location, similar to Vendetta Flopper, we have the Vendetta sprite. When thrown, it will mark all nearby opponents. And for even better use of it, you should combine it with the smoke sprite that creates smoke around it so players can't see through it. But what about Flashbang sprite? This sprite would temporarily blind players nearby, which will allow you to escape from them. Flowberry sprite could also help you escape, because when thrown, you would get the low gravity effect for 10 seconds. And it will also recover you shields like Flowberry Fizz. This is an alien sprite. When thrown, it creates an anti-gravity zone for 30 seconds like an alien nanite. In this zone you can either shoot, build, and even get a low taper fade by a massive sprite. He's just here to drag the meme, but Sweat sprite on the other hand builds 1x1 box made out of metal that helps you cover from the actual sweats. 0 point sprite, although it looks like a football, when thrown, it gives all nearby players the 0 point dash effect to help you move quicker, also as the slap sprite. This one doesn't actually slaps, but it gives you the slap effect, which will instantly regenerate lost energy for 50 seconds, so you don't need to worry about that stamina bar. Another cool movement sprite that should be added is the nitro sprite that gives you nitro effect for 20 seconds. This effect will kinda make you destroy anything in your way. Even a like on this video, so smash it. This is the mythic sprite. It has 1% chance of spawning, because when you find it, you'll need to return it to the sprite shrine where you'll get a random mythic weapon.
Let's go!
Shapeshift sprite on the other hand is much different. This one when thrown will shapeshift into your current skin and will be used as a decoy for 30 seconds. Similar to decoy grenade, it will confuse opponents into not knowing what's actually real, resulting into shooting at the sprite while you get a free elimination. Next up is the boogie sprite that when thrown will cause all players near him to dance for 5 seconds except you. By the way, this one player is reminding you to like the video, so smash that button. Anyway, hurry up to get those free eliminations before they stop dancing, or you would be in a trouble bubble. The underworld sprite, when you throw it, will grant you 3 underworld dashes so you can move faster around the map. While Midas sprite when picked up will turn your whole loadout into gold, but it has a quite rare chance to spawn like the Midas flopper. This is a pickle sprite.
Yes, sir.
When you bring him back to the shrine, you will be rewarded a dill bit, which you can use to purchase exotic weapons. Speaking of exotic, we also have the exotic sprite, which instead of a dill bit you will be granted a random exotic, so you don't have to go shopping with a flippin' rat. Next up we have the KS Sprite, which when thrown will have an ability to punch nearby opponents and knocking them back while also dealing 50 damage. This ability would last 10 seconds because after he gets tired will behave like a normal sprite that reminds you to smash the like button on this video. Anyway, if you miss traps like Cypher PK, you should throw the Mine Sprite, which has only one use because after a player comes close to it, the sprite will explode like a proximity mine but will deal massive 150 damage. Another cool trap sprite is the Sticky Sprite, which you can find in the Sticky Sticks location. This sprite will cause all nearby players to glue to him for 3 seconds, which means they are not going to be able to move while you can get free eliminations like fighting bots. This is the Reboot Sprite that can only spawn on top of the reboot vans. It's quite rare to find because when you throw it, it will reboot all your good teammates so they can throw the game once again. Boom Sprite on the other hand, when thrown, will explode after 5 seconds and will deal massive damage to opponents that will make their health fade away. You can also use it to instantly break into the vaults without even having the keycard, which will help bosses to survive. Right here! Very different sprite is the Leatherface Sprite that roams around the map, but when you get too close to him, it will start chasing you with the chainsaw. This sprite can't be picked up and it's definitely dangerous, but not as the Supply Sprite. This one would drop in the middle of the game from the sky and will avoid all players because when you eliminate him, he would drop the loot like from the supply drops. The Cowboy Sprite on the other hand wouldn't give you anything but will grab all nearby players with the whip like the guy from Fortnite, Indiana Jones. When the player gets grabbed, he wouldn't be able to move for 3 seconds, which can make him lose the game on the spot if the enemy is nearby. This is the Revive Sprite, which can be bought from the Remedy NPC for 500 gold. It works similar like the Totem of Undying in Minecraft, which when having in the inventory will immediately revive you if you get down, making you have a double life like Gru. It's going to be really broken because you can also quickly strike back at the enemy while he's completely clueless, making him feel like a noob. Cloak Sprite will also help you in a fight because when equipped it will turn you invisible like the Cloak Gauntlets. Although you can't shoot, it's still pretty OP because it allows you to sneak out of the fight, or maybe if you want to get free eliminations, sneak to the opponent and one-pump him. Like the Wanderer, the average gas enjoyer, this sprite can also be found near the gas stations because for some reason he enjoys the gas too. On the other hand, the Forecast Sprite spawns near the forecast towers and when thrown will reveal the next storm circle. This is quite useful if you don't want to get into the risky storm fights. This is the Space Sprite, which can be only found on the Meteor location.
Yes, sir.
It would be kinda hard to grab because he would literally float above the ground, so you would need to build up to him or just pull him with the harpoon gun. When thrown it will create a low gravity zone which will confuse opponents and make them an easy target, but if you want to, you can just carry this sprite and as long as you carry him you would have the low gravity effect. Zombie Sprite however acts quite different. Since it's a zombie, he can't be picked up because it will attack you dealing massive damage, so make sure to run away from this guy. He also attacks other sprites and when he damages them they will turn into the zombie, which will cause the zombie apocalypse in the endgame. Just imagine rotating in front of hundreds of zombie sprites. Anyway, let's talk about the A Sprite, which looks very similar to Never Back Down guy from Fortnite. This sprite can be found in the Amazing Estate location, and to interact with him you would need to bring him the hidden crown that's located somewhere on the map. When you bring the crown he will say, "You think you're the king? I'm the king!" and will call mods to ban the whole lobby except you, which will grant you a free win. What sprites should I make next? Comment down below.